Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon and elsewhere and good evening here. I've been asked to address the subject of global nuclear security architecture, regional trends, challenges, and the way forward. I'll make a few comments and then pass it on to the speakers that we have today, the illustrious speakers that we have today. The events of September 11, 2001 brought issues related to nuclear security to the forefront and spurred a series of critical actions. On the international nuclear landscape and over the last 2 decades, the progress achieved in nuclear security front has been far greater than movement in other areas, in arms control related areas. This was largely a result of the importance attached to decisively address the threat posed by malicious actors to the security of nuclear materials and facilities. During this period on the normative front, the CPPNM was amended to expand its scope and coverage. The Convention Against Nuclear Terrorism was concluded and entered into force. The UN Security Council adopted Resolution 1540, which has since been institutionalized with success. Significant contribution in terms of attracting high-level attention to this important issue emanated from the series of 4 nuclear security summits that were held between 2010 and 2016. Pakistan participated actively in all summits and contributed to the outcomes of these summits. There was consensus emanating from the nuclear security summits, as has been indicated by General Kidbai, that nuclear security is a national responsibility. This crucial aspect needs to be preserved as it enhances ownership, lessens politicization, and promotes practical action at the domestic level. IAEA, with its almost universal membership, remains best placed to continue promoting norms of nuclear security. Today, IAEA is the single most authoritative institution on the normative and operational aspects of nuclear security. IAEA's nuclear security program has been considerably strengthened and consolidated. Its nuclear security series documents provide critical guidance to countries worldwide, and the agency provides a range of other nuclear security-related services and capacity building to its member states. Pakistan has been actively involved in the work done in collaboration with IAEA. Similarly, the UN today, as the repository of ICSANT and the custodian of UNSCR 1540, has an enhanced role in the domain of nuclear security. Taken together, this mix of normative and institutional framework provides confidence in the adequacy and efficiency of the present international nuclear security system, a question that we will be asking later to all the panelists. Pakistan has come a long way during the last 2 decades. A series of legislative, regulatory, administrative, and operational measures that have been put in place to comprehensively cover the entire spectrum of nuclear security requirements. Pakistan's continuous improvements in the nuclear security architecture in line with IAEA guidelines have been internationally appreciated. As an area where complacency is not an option and the threat keeps evolving, there is a need to keep a close watch over the emerging challenges at all levels. Pakistan is committed to do so. In our neighborhood, unfortunately, in our neighborhood to the east, this year alone, 3 separate incidents of theft and illicit possession of nuclear material, as well as radioactive sources, were reported. More thought needs to go into the factors and circumstances of these repeated occurrences. We need to look at them closely, and IAEA needs to take view of it. At the international level, in addition to plugging any loopholes that might exist in the current framework, the risks posed by new technologies and trends also needs to be addressed, something that has been discussed a bit earlier as well. Cybersecurity, for instance, is one area where greater international attention would help in raising awareness and putting in place effective measures for prevention, detection, and response. Also, the security of radioactive materials, which are more widely spread and used all over the world as compared to nuclear materials, merits a commensurate focus. The effectiveness of the international regime is largely dependent on the implementation at the national level. Norms established through inclusive and participatory consensus-based processes carry universal acclaim and hence always prove more effective. There is a need not only to keep adapting the international normative and institutional framework, but also keep translating them into effective national action, which Pakistan is actively doing. Here, the role of IAEA and the review conference of the amended CPPNM is critical. Ladies and gentlemen, while it is true that the worst fears related to the misuse of nuclear and other radioactive materials have fortunately not materialized thanks to effective national and international action, the risk has not entirely subsided, as has been seen in our neighborhood. Ensuring nuclear security remains as crucial as ever. As it is often said, nuclear security is a journey, not a destination.